We have Sarah Boone news when it comes to the appeal. Things are kind of being forced through to get things done. 5/02/2025. The lower tribunal has not transmitted the record on appeal to this court. Within 20 days from the date of this order, appellant shall ensure that the clerk of the lower tribunal transmits the record on appeal, or, alternatively, file a response that shows cause why this appeal should not be dismissed for failing to ensure the transmission of the record. If the record is not transmitted or appellant fails to file the response within the time allowed, this case may be dismissed without further notice or opportunity to be heard. So they started a clock, a 20-day clock, and 3 days later, the record on appeal was submitted. And it is called Kranick Confidential. 1,400 pages. Now, while it's confidential, while we can't look inside, I can tell you what's inside it. But then there's another filing, and it is transcript 2,529 pages. That is the full transcript of the trial, which I have already done a video going through the bits that weren't public before because it includes sidebars. But let's talk about the 1,400 confidential pages. So while those 1,400 pages are confidential, the index to record on appeal, which is those 1,400 pages, the index is not actually confidential and has been filed on the Orange County Clerk. So we can see what they are trying to cite. And they begin with the progress docket, page 8 through 48. So right here is where they begin. The first 7 are probably basic information they have to fill out before they get to the meat of the document. Then all of these are going to be from the same day. The complaint, court minutes, advice to defendant first appearance, affidavit of insolvency and indignancy, and notice of invocation of constitutional rights. Then we move on to notice of appearance, plea of not guilty, request for jury trial. So the next day, jury trial. And then we have 3/09/2020, motion to withdraw, almost no time. And then we have order on motion to withdraw as counsel 2 days later. Then we have response to notice of discovery. We have memorandum. We have information filed. We have court minutes for 4/13/2020. We have 4/13/2020 order setting pretrial conference. We have 4/28/2020 motion to declare defendant indignant for costs. So as you can see, we're starting really at the beginning here. 4/29/2020 order declaring defendant indignant for costs granted. 5/05/2020 motion to appoint expert. 5/05/2020 motion for legal phone calls with defendant. 5/5/2020 motion to appoint expert and electronic evidence expert and order the Justice Administrative Commission to pay cost. And then the next day, we have order granting defendant's motion for payment of costs and appointing criminal scene forensic expert to assist the defendant in preparation of the defense granted. We have order granting motion for legal phone calls, and we have appoint an electronic evidence expert and order the Justice Administration Commission to pay costs. Then we have 5/14 affidavit, 6/24/2020 motion to appoint expert. The motion to appoint expert then was amended the same day. 7/13/2020 motion for continuance. 7/17/2020 court minutes. 7/17/2020 order setting pretrial conference. 8/03/2020 order authorizing the defense to incur costs for electronic evidence expert. 8/03/2020 order granting motion to appoint forensic psychologist to assist the defense. That was a very important addition right here, right? 11/02/2020 court minutes. 11/02/2020 order setting case management conference. And then we have 11/04/2020 motion for continuance. 11/23/2020 motion to appoint expert to incur costs for private investigator. 11/30/2020 order granting defendant's motion for incurring cost of private investigator. 2/8/2021 motion for cost for crime scene expert. 2/11/2021, defendant's motion to incur additional costs for crime scene expert. 2/23/2021, court minutes, a judicial assistant to contact attorney. 2/25/2021, court minutes. 2/25/2021, motion for continuance. I like how there was complaints about how long this trial lasted, and it happens in a lot of trials, and there's so many motions for continuances, and then they complain about how long it took. 2/25/2021, order setting case management conference. 4/29/2021, motion for continuance. 4/29/2021, motion for cost. 5/04/2021, order for continuance granted. 5/05/21, order granting motion to incur travel expenses. 6/03/2021, motion for continuance. 6/07/2021, order for continuance granted. 6/17/2021, motion or motion for attorney petition or motion for attorney's fees. 6/25/2021, order granting motion to incur additional costs for travel. 7/07/21, motion for continuance. We move on to the next page. 7/13/2021, order for continuance granted. 7/21/2021, motion to appoint expert. We're on page 4 of 24 of this so far, by the way. 7/27/2021, motion to appoint expert forensic pathologist to assist the defense. 8/03/2021, order granting motion to appoint forensic pathologist to assist the defense. 9/09/21, motion for cost. Nuku Pro Tuck, August 1st, 2021. What is that? Okay, additional cost for private investigator. So, okay, I gotta look it up. Nunk Pro. I'm gonna feel like an idiot when this comes up, aren't I? Now for then is a Latin phrase used in legal context to indicate a court order or judgment that is retroactively effective, as if it were okay, so it's legal jargon. So I'm okay. It's Latin. I don't need to know Latin. So this is additional costs basically this is additional costs granted for the investigator for costs that have already been accrued, I believe. Anyway. Another motion for continuance, 9/16/2021. 9/17/2021, motion or petition for attorney's fees for attorney to travel outside the state of Florida. 9/17/2021, for travel outside the state of Florida for private investigator. That must have been trying to get witnesses for her side, maybe? And get statements that, of course it didn't help, but 9/20/2021, order for continuance granted. 9/24/2021, order granting amended defendant's counsel motion to incur costs for attorney travel outside the state of Florida. 9/24/2021, motion to incur costs for private investigator travel outside the state of Florida. 10/08/2021, response amended motion to appoint forensic consultant to assist defense. So they had to amend it. And then we have a motion for cost 2 days later for the amended for incurring costs for production of discovery for defense. Order for costs is granted. Motion for continuance again. We have court minutes. Order setting pretrial conference. Now we move down to 12/21/2021. To motion to appoint domestic violence psychologist expert. We have January 6, 2021. Motion to appoint expert. 1/24/2022. That's 2022 right here. Ooh, we're switching years. Petition or motion for attorney's fees. 1/26/2022, order granting defendant's motion to incur additional costs for travel. 1/28/2022, order setting case management conference. 2/03/2022, order setting appointing experts. I'm not going to look it up. 2/21/2022, motion for cost. 3/01/2022, order corrected order. Granting motion to appoint domestic violence psychologist expert to assist the defense. Order granting motion for authorization to incur additional costs for forensic expert funds. 1/03/2022, motion for cost. 03/01/2022, motion for cost. 3/12/2022, petition or motion for attorneys. This is I know this is just how it works, right? I understand. I understand it's how it works. But it is amazing how essentially this document just detailing the court process for this trial is we need more time, we need more money, we need more time, we need more money. How much did this trial cost? Do we know? Is that public? I would love, I mean, obviously we would never get like the James Owens cost because he went pro bono, right? But I would just love to know the total amount spent from like investigation to end of appeal. I would love to know the dollar amount that Sarah Boone cost the people of Florida. I would love to know it. And what's crazy is, remember, I don't remember at what point this was offered, but she was offered a plea deal, which would have gotten her out. She would have been out of prison at some point in her life, but also it would have saved money. Maybe she would have even been able to argue she should get that alimony because she's going to be released at some point. Anyway, petitioner motion for attorney's fees at 3/12/2022, 3/16/2022, order granting defendant's motion to incur additional costs for travel. 3/24/2022, order granting motions for cost. 4/05/2022, motion to allow computer forensic expert to bring into Orange County Jail expert's computer. 4/07/22, motion to allow forensic expert to bring into Orange County Jail expert's computer amended. Oh, look at that. 4/18/2022, a motion to withdraw. We have 4/18/2022, a motion for continuance. Then we have court minutes, defense to submit admitted motion parties to coordinate with judicial assistance for the week of 5/9. Then we have 4/09/2022, motion to withdraw. Then we have 5/06/2022, motion to withdraw. 5/16/2022, motion for cost. 5/19/2022, notice of voluntary withdrawal of defendant's motion to incur additional costs for electronic evidence expert. So they're withdrawing the motion for additional money for the expert. Then we have 6/06/2022, motion to withdraw. Geez, that's so many motion to withdraws. Then we have 6/07/2022, order, response, withdraw, public defender, and appoint Office of Criminal Conflict and Civil Regional Counsel. 6/10/2022, NOA, written plea of not guilty, waiver of arraignment. 6/10/2022, motion for disclosure of impeaching information. 06/10/2022, motion to withdraw. 6/22/2022, withdraw public defender and appoint Office of Criminal Conflict and Civil Regional Counsel. 6/22/2022, NOA, written plea of not guilty, waiver of arraignment. 7/08/2022, motion to withdraw. Sorry. It's actually, we need more time, we need more money, we need a new lawyer, I'm done. Like, that's just, 7/11/2022, order on motion to withdraw as counsel, Frank Bankowitz is appointed. 7/12/2022, court minutes. 7/12/2022, order setting pretrial conference. 10/24/2022, NOA, written plea of not guilty, waiver of arraignment. We have 10/25/2022, order on joint motion for substitution of counsel, Frank Bankowitz is submitted as counsel. 10/27/2022, motion for continuance. 10/28/2022, order for continuance granted amended. 12/19/2022, motion to withdraw. 12/20/2022, court minutes. 12/20/2022, court minutes reset with judicial assistant mandatory appearance by defense attorney. 12/27/2022, court minutes status hearing, defendant, all caps, did not ask court to remove attorney. And then we have a big break, as in like it stops here. And now we have the next section, which, as you can see, we're at page 8 of 2024, and it's starting to get spicy. It gets spicier. It's interesting. January 17th, 2023, motion for continuance. January 17th, 2023, court minutes parties to coordinate a date for status hearing with judicial assistant defense attorney to schedule conference with defendant. January 17th, 2023, order setting pretrial conference. 1/26/2023, motion for cost for private investigator. 2/10/2023, court minutes defense to submit order for RCC to render discovery within 10. 2/15/2023, order authorizing the defense to incur costs for private investigator. 2/23/2023, motion for cost for mitigation expert. 3/31/2023, court minutes, state announces they are ready for trial. Defendant requests a continuance. What do you know? Again, another delay. Court minutes, state announces they are ready for trial. Defense requests a continuance. Parties reach out judicial assistant prior to 7/11/2023 to set a status hearing, expected to be a 3.5-day trial. It didn't end up being that short, did it? I mean, I guess we'll find out, right? When we get to that part. It had to be longer. It had to be. I can't remember how long Sarah Boone's trial was, because I have Lori's Vallow's trial, but that one was kind of extended extra in my mind because they only did 4 days and then they took like 1 day off. I don't know. Let's continue. Order setting pretrial conference. Court minutes, parties to coordinate status hearing with judicial assistant between July 5th and 7th. Court minutes. Response: Justice Administrative Commission's ex parte response to motion for appointment of defense forensic psychologist. Order setting pretrial conference. And oh, look at that, a motion to withdraw. It had been a little bit since we had a motion to withdraw, so we got to get that in there. And then we have order setting pretrial conference. We have 9/16/2023. Hair in my eye. NOA, written plea of not guilty, waiver of arraignment. We have 10/30/2023, order setting pretrial conference. 12/20/2023, order granting defendant's motion for incurring additional costs and change of private investigator. January 2nd, 2024, motion to appoint expert. We also have 1/12/2024, motion for continuance. 1/16/2024, court minutes. I'm realizing when I say one and then go on like that, that might be confusing because I know some people here live in countries that do it in a different order, but I'm American and I'm trying to shorten it so my voice doesn't kill me. So I apologize. I've just realized that they do the month and the day flipped. 1/16/2024, order setting pretrial conference. 2/01/2024, motion to withdraw. 2/05/2024, motion to withdraw. 2/09/2024, court minutes, defense motion to withdraw. Granted, court appoints attorney Patricia Cashman. 2/09/2024, conflict attorney appointed. 2/12/2024, NOA, written permission of a plea of not guilty, waiver of arraignment. 2/25/2024, we have multiple filings, motion for cost, motion for cost, motion for cost, motion for cost. Oh, next day, notice of filing. We have notice of filing, motion for cost, notice of filing, and then we have 2/28/2024, order on motion granted for authorization incurring to obtain copies of transcripts for depositions of state witnesses. 2/28/2024, order on motion granting authorization to incur costs to obtain transcripts of deposition of state witnesses. So this is the... Why do we have it twice? I don't know why it's twice. 2/28/2024, granted for authorization to incur costs to obtain transcripts of deposition of state witnesses. Number 2. Order on motion for authorization for costs for psychologists. Amended order on motion for authorization to incur costs to obtain transcripts of depositions. Order to transcribe, amended on motion for authorization to incur costs to obtain transcripts of deposition of state witnesses. We're at 408. At this point, by the way, order to transcribe, amended for authorization to incur costs to obtain transcripts of deposition for state witnesses. 4/12/2024, court minutes, defendant to be transported. Defendant has hired experts and has outstanding deposition status hearing set to determine trial dates. Oh, how cute. They were trying to do trial dates. Finally. 4/12/2024, order on motion amended for authorization to incur costs to obtain copies of transcript of deposition of state witnesses. 5/06/2024, motion for costs to obtain transcripts of statements of Sarah Boone. 5/09/2024, notice of removal of state witnesses from state's Brady identification system. Notice of removal of a state witness from the state's Brady identification. Wait. I want to make sure I'm remembering that right. So basically, yeah, so I guess maybe they aren't going to use that witness, so they want them pulled out of the system, so they aren't listed anymore. 5/10/2024, order granting for authorization to incur costs to obtain transcripts of statements of Sarah Boone. Oh, look at that. 4/07/2024, we get court minutes. And again, we're still like 1,000 pages left. A lot of these are going to be transcripts of trial days, though, I believe. I would assume. I haven't gone through all of this yet, obviously. It's very long. I'd rather do it raw. 6/11/2024, motion to withdraw. 6/28/2024, order granting motion to withdraw. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Oh, I need money, I need time, I need a lawyer. That's all this is. 6/28/2024, court minutes. The court addressed Attorney Cashman's motion to withdraw. The defendant was placed under oath. The court read on the record its order dated 6/28/2024 as it relates to the motion withdrawing the defendant in open court. The defendant gave a statement and asked questions of a court of this order. The defendant was provided a copy of the court's order hand-delivered on 6/28/2024 by Officer Jones and Thomas. So here's the thing, right? Like, obviously, this appeal is going to go into the fact that she was told she'd have to represent herself. But, like, I think anyone coming into this fresh, like, if you didn't know anything about this case, you're already going to be questioning. Like, you don't even know how it ends up. You're going to be questioning, why is everyone running? But the thing is, the people reviewing this are going to get to see the actual motion to withdraw. So they're not just going to, like, right now we're just going through the index of what these people are actually going to be reviewing. It's kind of damning how many motion of withdrawals we see. Now, I'm sure her side will say it's damning that she was not being treated correctly or something, but we'll see. 6/28/2024, order for authorization to incur costs to obtain transcripts of deposition of state witnesses. We have 7/09/2024, evidence control sheet evidence. We have 7/25/2024. We have order and notice of hearing. 7/25/2024, court minutes. 7/29/2024, order setting hearing. 7/30/2024, memorandum from the Orange County Corrections Department Security Operations. Maybe this is when, like, Sarah Boone wanted access to more things than she was allowed. It's been a while. I could have gone, like, through the actual filings and, like, gone back and forth, but then this video becomes like a 5-hour video. And I think the index is enough. I mean, if you want to know exactly what a lot of these are, they're going to be on the Orange County Clerk, and you can just go by the date. 7/30/2024, response to motion seeking due process costs, because this is basically what is being brought up in the appeal directly, like these things, in one way or another. I don't know who put this together. Was Kranick or whatever? It might have been Kranick that put it together. His name's on this file, or his people might have put it together. The state might have put it together. 7/30/2024, response to motion seeking due process costs. 8/01/2024, notice of mailing of documents. 8/01/2024, notice of delivery of digital copies of documents. 8/05/2024, court minutes, status held. The court addressed several of the defendant's motions and set deadlines as it relates to exhibits and witness lists. The court will prepare, that's the wrong word, not spelled right, specific order with all deadline dates as to what was stated on the record, including costs for JACS. The court provided the defendant in open court a copy of the email dated 7/24/2024 from Gina M. Giovanni, Captain Security Operations, a copy of today's orders setting hearing. Court witnesses sworn and testified. Christian Lake with JACS Investigator Billy Lane, representative from Prison Break Investigation, Sergeant Donald Casey, representative from Orange County. 8/05/2024, order authorizing defense to incur costs for private investigator. 8/05/2024, order scheduling order notice of hearing sent to dockets. Court minutes were amended 8/05/2024. 8/09/2024, court minutes. The court went through the mailing of the documents with defendant. The defendant advised the court that she's received everything the court is mentioning. However, she is still needed to finish going through her mail. How much time does she need to go through her mail? The court assured her that nothing is being withheld from her. Court witnesses sworn and testified. Billy Lane, representative from Prison Break Investigation, Sergeant Chad Burnett, states notice of provision of witness list filed in open court to be placed under seal. 809-2024, order amended scheduling order, notice of hearing sent to dockets. 809-2024, order and notice of hearing sent to dockets. 812-2024, motion to intervene for the limited purpose of imposing closure. 814-2024, motion to intervene in notice of joinder filed by the Orlando Sentinel. So this is when I believe Sarah was trying to get the media out. And the order was denied. There's another order. You have court minutes. 8/15/2024, response to motion for payment of costs and appointing neuropsychologist, petition or motion for attorney's fees. 8/16/2024, motion of filing IMS record from Orange County Jail. 8/16/2024, notice of filing notice from Prison Break Investigations. 8/21/2024, notice of filing IMS record from Orange County Jail. 8/21/2024, petition or motion for attorney's fees. 8/21/2024, petition or motion for attorney's fees. 8/22/2024, notice of filing. We have affidavit of costs, accounting of due process costs. 8/23/2024, petition or motion for attorney's fees. 8/27/2024, motion to dismiss. 8/28/2024, order setting hearing. 8/29/24, order striking to dismiss case charge with constitutional authorities. 8/29/2024, notice of filing. 8/30/2024, defense motion to continue. 8/30/2024, notice of appearance. 8/30/2024, notice of appearance. 8/31/2024, petition or motion for attorney's fees. 9/02/2024, motion for state's particulars. 9/02/2024, motion for additional discovery. 9/02/2024, motion to appoint expert forensic psychologist. Ooh, now we're getting some stuff here. We have 9/02/2024, motion to appoint expert crime scene reconstructionist and death investigator. 9/03/2024, court minutes, defense abandons the motions previously filed pro se by the defendant. Defendant's pro se motions for costs is denied as moot. Defense counsel to adopt motions as stated on the record. State shall file response no later than 9/10 at 5 p.m. So is this when James Owens jumped on board? Sounding like it. Notice of appearance. We have 9/03/2024, motion for cost. 9/05/2024, motion to object. 9/06/2024, motion for additional discovery. 9/08/2024, state's response to defendant's motion for statement of particulars. We have another state response to the demand for supplemental discovery. Response to defendant's second motion for additional discovery. We have petition or motion to strike defendant's notice of intent to rely on the defense of battered spouse syndrome and the state's motion in limine and state's motion for examination by state expert. 9/10/2024, motion notice of appearance. 9/13/2024, response to state's motion to strike defendant's notice of intent to rely on the defense of battered spouse syndrome. 9/17/2024, motion to appear via Zoom. 9/17/2024, order granting motion to appear via Zoom. 9/17/2024, motion for enlargement extension of time. Look at that. They need more time. 9/17/2024, notice of provision of defendant's exhibit list. 9/18/2024, motion for the return of property. Is this when she wanted her phone? 9/18/2024, motion to declare defendant indignant for costs and payment of due process amended. And then we have a bunch of motion for appoint witnesses amended for 9/18. Excuse me. We have the state response to defendant's motion for return of property and or alternative motion for independent exam by defense. It had to be about her phone. Motion to strike defendant's amended notice of intent to rely on the defense of battered spouse syndrome. 9/19/2024, court minutes. 9/20. Order on state's motion to strike defendant's notice of intent to rely on the defense of battered spouse syndrome, etc., granted in part, denied in part. 9/20/2024, motion to amend order for investigator. 9/20, motion for cost. 9/20/2024, motion for cost, appointed experts to produce reports. 9/20/2024, order appointing experts. 9/20/2024, order granting defendant's motion to appoint clinical psychologist. We have an order granting defendant's amended motion to appoint crime scene reconstructionist and death investigator. 9/24/2024, order granting on amended motion for attorney's fees. 9/24/2024, order granting payment of attorney's fees. We have 9/24/2024, court minutes. attorneys seeking attorneys' fees granted as stated in open court. Order approving reasonable attorneys' fees. We have a motion to suppress at 9/24/2024. Was the attorney? Maybe we aren't at James Owens. No, we have to be at James Owens by now. Is this maybe about the previous attorney still wanting paid, which they did get paid because they earned it by dealing with Sarah? 9/24/2024, order denying state's motion for court-appointed experts to produce reports. Motion to appear via Zoom. Order granting on defendant's motion to appear via Zoom. 9/27/2024, notice of filing. A lot of 9/27s here. We have state's response preliminary objection to defendant's amended exhibit list. State's response objection to defendant's second amended reciprocal discovery exhibit list. State's response to defendant's objections to plaintiff's exhibit list. We have motion for a right to hair. For a right to hair, cosmetics, and civilian clothing without restraints for trial. State's response, motion to strike defendant's motion to suppress statements at OCSO, and motion to strike defendant's motion to suppress statements at OCSO. Again, still 9/27. Court minutes the state to depose Dr. Brennan in person no later than Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. Motion regarding defendant's statement to Deputy Kayla Rodriguez and Detectives Copesel and Lowen on February 24th, 2020. Request states request for protective order. 9:30, motion suppressed. And then we have 10/01/2024, list of exhibits amended, defendant's fourth. So now we're in October of 2024. We have motion. We have on the second a motion to suppress, another motion to suppress. State's response to defendant's case law submitted on September 30th, 2024 regarding motion to suppress filed on September 24th, 2024. And we have the court minutes, motion to suppress held. We have an exhibit list on 10/03. Also on 10/03, we have defendant's motion for a right to hair, cosmetics, civilian clothing without restraints for a trial sent to dockets. Order denying defendant's motion to suppress defendant's statements at OCSO. So all that, on defendant's submitted motion to suppress. Yeah, so all that stuff that failed. I'm going to tongue tie myself because it's basically the same words, slightly different. 10/04/2024, evidence control sheet. 10/04/2024, state's request for protective order. 10/04/2024, order granting experts amended. We have court minutes for the 4th. We have motion in limine on the 6th. And on the 6th, we have state's response to defendant's motion in limine regarding defendant's February 25th, 2020 statement. 10/06/2024, state's motion in limine to exclude battered spouse syndrome evidence or exclude mention of battered spouse syndrome evidence until the defendant testifies to a justifiable use of deadly force. 10/07/2024, court minutes defense to provide order to allow defendant to wear dress shoes. 10/14/2024, state's response and motion in limine. 10/15/2024, state's response, defendant's 5th amended reciprocal discovery exhibit list. 10/15, response and state's motion to in limine to exclude battered spouse syndrome evidence or mention of battered spouse syndrome evidence until defendant testifies. 10/15/2024, motion amended response to state's motion in limine to exclude battered spouse syndrome evidence or mention of battered spouse syndrome evidence until defendant testifies. Response, defendant's objection to state's digital exhibits. Motion in limine regarding anticipation of affirmably pleading to use battered spouse syndrome evidence. We have 2 evidence control sheets, and then we have 10/21/2024, motion for witness to appear via Zoom. Request for in-camera hearing regarding financial arrangements between defendants and defense team. And this is what really is something people are wanting to know, right? What was the deal? Why did James Owens take the case? What is he getting out of it? What did he hope to get out of it? What is he going to get out of it? And we're probably never going to know what they said behind closed doors. We really aren't. Most likely. Unless we get a Sarah letter. That would be brilliant. Do that, Sarah. Give us the letter. Let us know. She's not happy with James Owens, by the way. She's not happy with him. That's been very public. So if she's not happy with James Owens, spill the tea, Sarah. Do it. Do it. Submit a letter. Do it. 10/22/2024, request for special jury instructions regarding Florida criminal standard jury instruction defendant statements. 10/22/2024 motion for cost. 10/23/2024 order on defendant's motion for recurring additional costs of private investigator. 10/23/2024 request for special jury instruction regarding withdrawing from physical contact. 10/23/2024 request for forcible felony instruction and request for initial aggressor instruction. We have 10/23/2024 request for special jury instruction on causation. 10/23/2024 request for special jury instruction regarding battered spouse syndrome. 10/25/2024 judgment recorded and filed. Oh boy, we're getting there, right? We're getting there. We're at 9 out of 24. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Make sure I get everything here. Should have done that. Should have had it this way earlier, but it's fine. I don't think I read too much that was above the line, I hope. So let's start again. Let's go back to this. We have 10/25/2024 judgment recorded and filed. 10/25. We'll also have the jury instruction for battered spouse, but then we have the verdict on 10/25/2024. We have 10/25/2024 introduction of final instructions. 10/25/2024 minutes of the jury. 10/28/2024 evidence control sheet. We have 3 evidence control sheets, and then 11/04/2024 motion for new trial. 11/05/2024 transcript filed. 10/4/2024. We have order 11/7/2024 order granting defendant's request to incur costs for lodging for private investigator during trial. 12/02/2024 state's response to defendant's motion for new trial. 12/02/2024 state's response. Oh, that's sorry. It's 12/02/2024 motion for downward departure. And then same day the sentence, final judgment, order declaring defendant indignant and appointing counsel. We have 12/02/2024 restitution order, DNA order, victim form. 12/02/2024 sentencing guidelines score sheet. 12/03/2024 sentence, amended sentence to correct credit for time. And then we have the court minutes amended order of deposition to correct credit for time. 12/18/2024 order granting counsel appellate counsel. 12/18/2024 statement of judicial acts to be reviewed. 12/18/2024 notice of appeal received by clerk. 1/31/2025. That is weird. Why does it have this date? And this is when it was filed. This is when the clerk got it, I guess. I know there was an issue with that. And then we have 12/23/2024 affidavit of insolvency for appeal and order appointing PD CDCA. And then we have more here. These are photos. So I don't know exactly which ones these are that they want in, but they only want specific photos, you can see. A lot of these are defense photos, a couple state photos here or there. They also want the designation to court reporter. They want they're included the directions to the clerk. They have the transcript of October 2nd, 2024, the transcript of 9/03/2024, and the transcript of 12/02/2024. I believe all 3 of these are on the Orange County Clerk as well. And they should, I believe, be in the major thing. And then we have the clerk certificate. And this is, that's all 1,400 pages, but it's not done. And here we have the stuff that's sealed. First appearance information sheet. Motion to determine confidential information. So these are going to be at the start. So this is, we have quasi ex parte motion for appointment of defense forensic psychologist and request for sealed order on 7/17/2023. 7/30/2024, we have correspondence. We have 08/09/2024 sealed document. And we have the pre-sentence investigation, which isn't allowed to be public. That's 11/13/2024. We have the 12/02/2024 psychiatric evaluation, which obviously We get to hear about it in the case, but we don't get to see the exact thing. And then we have the 4/16/2025, the clerk's certificate. And then there is going to be an index to evidence, and it's a bunch of USBs. Bunch of USBs. And then the clerk exhibit is listed down at the bottom. So I wanted to make sure that I understood the time frame of this right. This is something that is filed under seal. We can't see it. But it is right around the time that Sarah is sending the judge her long letters that kind of made her famous, that got people interested. So maybe she said something in like a short letter that wasn't supposed to be said. I don't know. Maybe it's something that shouldn't have been public and she put it out there. But it's interesting because it is mentioned here. Now, as I said, this is the update for Sarah Boone. This is what we have for her appeal. So far, there'll probably be more movement now that we've started getting documents filed, and I'll try to cover them when I can. I just happened to catch this index, which led me into the actual appellate case, and I could see what was going on there. So things are moving. Nothing directly from Sarah yet. She still has a lawyer working for her. But I guess we see how long that lasts, because we saw this document. If you watched the video, you saw it. Sarah Boone wants more time, she wants more money, and she needs a new lawyer. That is like the standard throughout this case. So we'll see what happens. If her appeal fails, I don't know if she's still allowed to submit things to court or how she would get things out there, but I can't imagine it's the last we hear of her, because we're hearing rumblings of her angry about James Owens, right? Still, I have to imagine that if she loses her appeal, she'll have quite a bit to say about that attorney as well, because she's Sarah Boone. We all know how she acts at this point. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you everyone who's used the Buy Me a Coffee, who subscribed, who became a member, all of that. I am still planning to cover the Lori Vallow stuff. I am watching to see if there's any more filings, because remember, she's trying to get a new trial, and that's a whole thing. My gaming channel is still doing good. The views are starting to die off on that particular game, but there's some other games I could jump to that might still, do well. But no matter what, I plan to go hard on the next Lori Vallow trial. Hoping she doesn't get a new trial for the one that already happened with Charles. That would be a real shame. And we will see. See you in the next video. It's always the same with Sarah. It really is, but somehow it's still entertaining to be reminded of what she tried to do going through this case. This is someone who could have taken that plea and gotten out way earlier than anyone would have wanted, really. And instead, she got in her own way. Every step, Sarah Boone got in her own way. And I guess the reason I keep watching the appeal isn't so much that I think she has a chance, because I don't. It's because I'm waiting for her to get in her own way again. I have to imagine she's going to do it. She's going to pull something or try something or do something. I cannot see a scenario where she doesn't make everything worse for herself and everyone around her. That's just what we saw in the trial. It's what we saw after the trial. It's what we saw before the trial. It's what is saved into the court record. It is what is written into her letters. This is what she's done. Always.